All right, everybody. Welcome back to episode 3 of the On Fire podcast. I'm here with Blake.
Hello.
Hey, Blake. All right, so we had a little bit of a hiatus there, just kind of working out the schedule. We're going to be switching to every Sunday starting next week. So we will see you Sunday, and it'll be weekly from here on out. All right, Blake, we're going to start off with our favorite segment, who is on fire this week in the NHL. So we've kind of got a collective list here this week. We're going to try something different. Up first, we have Calgary. Blake, what do you want to say about Calgary?
Calgary has been a weird one so far. Like, they haven't been able to win an OT, but they've been so shut down 5-on-5 that they look so great. They've just been an absolute tank this year, and I think that they're so much more fun to watch as a Flames fan, and they have me excited for the rest of the season. We seem to talk about them a lot, but it's because obviously we're Flames fans. It's going to be a biased podcast, I'm not going to lie to you, but they're also just really doing good, and I think it also just needs to be brought up. We're not talking about everyone else who's doing good. It's just Calgary with their goalies, not even just Markstrom. We saw that Dan Vladar is just insane as well. The guy just recorded a shutout the other night, right? Not to mention Oliver Shillington.
Yeah, Oliver Shillington's popping off. Andrew Mangiapane, the most selfish player in the league, is popping off with his 12 goals and 2 assists, or 15 goals now, or whatever it is. And
Johnny Gaudreau's having a career year so far.
Yeah, first star of the week from the NHL. That guy, he's getting recognition. Matthew Tkachuk's doing better than last year. Sean Monahan's on the fourth line. We got, like I said, Andrew Mangiapane, Oliver Shillington. Anderson's having a good year. Both of our goalies are outstanding. The thing that we're worried about is kind of the contracts at the end of the year. All those people that we mentioned are doing good. Believe it or not, they're all ending their contracts this year. Shillington's ending his contract, becoming an RFA. Tkachuk and Mangiapane also fall under that umbrella. The only one that's a UFA is Johnny Gaudreau, and that's the only one we might lose, because Matthew Tkachuk's going to easily get $8 or $9 million just because his brother got $8 million.
Yeah, that really screwed us over.
Yeah, that just kind of...
Brady did not deserve that.
That sets it in stone for sure that he's going to get that or more, right? Because he's better, so he's going to get either $8 or $8.5, $9 million. And then Mangiapane just won gold at the World Cup. He won MVP at the World Cup. He's tied in second in the league in scoring, has 0 assists. And then Johnny Gaudreau is getting back to what he's supposedly is supposed to be. So
who can we blame for this? Daryl Sutter, the guy that when Treliving signed that we were so skeptical about, or
I was just happy to have anybody who knows what they're doing because we haven't had that in a while. So I was excited, but
especially with the problems that he had with Gaudreau.
Yeah. Because he's such a physical coach that it's how is someone who values physicality and defense going to work with Johnny Gaudreau?
But throughout this whole year, we've learned that Daryl Sutter's open to adapting his coaching style to today's game. And that's really cool to see from this team how they're playing with under the Sutter system.
For sure. I think that really really kind of turned our team around. Okay, well, we're going to move on here. Our second team this week is Toronto. Toronto has done really good, really turned their season around. Obviously, we know Austin Matthews had a slow start. But once again, I think another big part of this team, again, is the goaltending. Soup. Jack Campbell. He's sick. He's amazing in net. The saves he's making out here are really nice. His stats are really nice. Matthews is finally showing up. Mm-hmm. They're using all their star power. Tavares having a good season. Willie Nylander's having a good season. What more can you say?
Yeah, but only time will tell because they do well in the regular season and then lose in the first round. So
I just don't understand how you can have that much star power on a team and not already be at the top of the league. I think it's kind of embarrassing, actually. The fact that they're not just always number one is kind of a joke because you have there's no way Calgary could ever have a lineup like that, with Willie Nylander, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Morgan Riley, Mitch Marner. Like,
this team is capable of putting Kyle Dubas's therapist into retirement.
Yeah,
this is how.
This is his therapy. Like, this would make any mental illness go away. Maybe Carey Price should join this team because fuck, he needs it, man. Like, Montreal's what is putting Carey Price's therapist in business, because they really need that. Yeah, fuck. We're going to move on here to someone that we've already talked about before, but how can we not talk about them? Florida. Like, they're still undefeated at home. They are 10-0-0, man. Like, they are sick.
They're pretty average on the road, but, like, that home record.
They're still number one in the league.
Absolutely.
Like, easy. They're so good right now. Like, they are firing on all cylinders, and Huberdeau's not even, like, playing as sick as he has in past years. Last year and the year before, Huberdeau was playing way better than this, getting way more points. And now people like Carter Verhaeghe, Anthony Duclair, Alexander Barkov, obviously, Mackenzie Weegar, Aaron Ekblad, all these people are stepping up, and they're such a big part of why this team is so good.
Make a case for the goaltending again.
Exactly. Bobrovsky and Knight. Yeah. Like, Bobrovsky got injured. Knight just slid right in there like he's an NHL vet. They didn't even notice Bobrovsky was gone. That's the thing. But they're paying Bobrovsky like out the ass. Like, they're gonna play him. Like, they're paying him so much money. They're not gonna set him on the bench and like. But Knight is gonna get like every like second or third start, man. Like, he's also good.
Yeah. I a bright season for them.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited that most of my fantasy team is Florida players. I'll be honest. I got Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe, Jonathan Huberdeau, Anthony Duclair, Sergei Bobrovsky. That's like at least half of my team.
It's funny to see Florida on top again.
Yeah, like it's about time.
Well, no, I'm talking like the state. Again,
oh yeah,
because like Tampa Bay is fucking lighting shit up every year.
Yeah, fuck.
They just got
one of your teams wins a cup and has been the best team in the league hands down for the past 3 years and only got 2 cups out of that. But like, well, here comes your other team. They're gonna become a dynasty now. Like, geez, man, what do you even do? Like, they're going streaking in Florida, man.
Yeah,
like, what? Something's in the water, hey?
Must be the taxes
or the cocaine.
Probably.
Or the crackheads down there. It's probably got something to do with it. Barkov probably gets nasty on a Friday night, man.
Infested down there.
Yeah, like Barkov looks like he gets wild on a fucking Saturday night, man. He looks like he gets like down with some like hookers or something. Like, I don't know. Okay. We're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on to. We're gonna see who our picks are to win each conference this year. Way too early predictions, but we're going to do it anyway. Blake, 1 month into the NHL, who's going to win the West?
Pains me to say it. The Edmonton Oilers.
Why?
They're playing very well, even though that they got McDavid, Draisaitl, and they don't got a whole lot else other than like Puljujärvi, Darnell Nurse. Hyman, Darnell Nurse. Their goaltending is Koskinen and Smith.
Yeah, that's kind of garbage. That's kind of bad.
That's pretty terrible, but I think McDavid is just on a completely different level, and I think he's going to carry this team to winning the West.
We're talking about McDavid being on a completely different level. Look who's number 1 in the league in all stats, Leon Draisaitl. Everyone's saying he's number 2 to McDavid, which, like, I'm not saying that he's not, but this guy is also just popping off. I don't understand. Like, McDavid is far more skilled than Draisaitl, but Draisaitl is putting up the numbers.
Considering how hard it is to get one franchise player on your roster,
to have 2,
these guys got 2.
That's nasty,
and they have decent depth in their forward group.
It's all right. It's all right. It could be better. Yeah,
at
decent.
Best decent.
Yeah, it's not good. It's we're gonna cap it. Zach
Hyman's a good ad. Very expensive.
Yeah,
good ad,
but it was worth it.
Puljujärvi's playing way better now.
Yeah.
They have Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah, that guy's sick.
But yeah, I think they could pull off the.
That's a good pick. I also have Edmonton in the West. I don't know how I can't take them. Like, just because I would normally take Vegas with a healthy lineup, but the fact that most of their players are out long term, it's not that I don't see them as a good team. I just see them as end of the season, they get their full lineup back, they're going to be sick, okay? We get into the playoffs, that's where they're really going to stick out. But I don't see them as having all their players for long enough to get to first in the West. I think it's either going to be Calgary or Edmonton, and I'll be honest, I've seen Calgary fail with a team like this before, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. That's why I'm going with Edmonton, because that power play percentage is still almost at 50%. It's in like 40-50% range, which I don't think is going to stay, but we have to acknowledge that, because freaking I would kill to have like a
50%,
like 50% power play. That's insane. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but it's still very close. It's like, I don't think we'll ever see them get to 50%.
That's almost unfair. Like,
it's kind of disgusting. Like, that should not be allowed. Actually, you should actually like have a couple goals taken away, maybe. But I don't know. I think just Edmonton has to worry about their defensive game, their goaltending game. They don't need to worry about outscoring their opponents. They need a Daryl Sutter on their team, and I'm not gonna give them a Daryl Sutter because fuck them. But he's ours. But that's what they need. They need someone who knows how to play defense, because all the old guys will tell you defense wins championships, and a lot of people will do that. They need to be an all-around team. They can't just be a good team up front. Okay, so we're going to move to the Eastern Conference now. Blake, who's your pick for the Eastern Conference this year?
My pick this year is Carolina. I would pick Florida, but I just think that Carolina is going to remain consistent this year. They've always been pretty consistent throughout the years, and I think that that's not really going to change. This is way too early, obviously. Like, yeah, I could very well be wrong, and we're
a month in.
Yeah, I could very well be wrong, and they could just fall in the standings. But I just I like their roster. I like their depth. Their defense is great. Their goaltending is great. I just think all around that they're capable of winning the East. Yeah, and I just like their team.
That's a good pick for sure. No surprise with what I'm going to go with here. I've kind of been their fanboy all year, low-key. I had them being sick going into this year. I also had Chicago being sick this year, but, I'm okay shooting 1 for 2. That's not too bad. I'm like the Oilers power play here, but Florida, more Florida. They're just all around built. They're just a good team. Like I said, undefeated at home. Not much more I need to say. Like, what if Huberdeau even hits his next level?
And it's funny, too. We never even, expected this last year. Like, they had such a great offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Especially picking up Sam Reinhart.
Oh, we haven't even talked about that Sam Reinhart pickup. That's such a good pickup. Yeah. Like, he's actually doing bits for them. Yeah. And Sam Bennett is really evolving into, a player that he's supposed to be, which I don't understand because he had the opportunity in Calgary. It's just...
No one can say he didn't get the opportunity. He had the opportunity.
He played on the first line for a while. Yeah. So, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear it. But, no, I just don't see how Florida... I think they're sustainable. I think every part of their team is sustainable. I think at the deadline, they might get a piece. I don't know what piece they really need to add, but there's no way at the deadline they don't buy something. They're going to buy something, and I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe a defenseman or something. Get Radko Gudas out of there, but, something. That's going
to make them better.
It's going to make them better because, I'm the GM of Florida right now. I'm looking at this team, and I'm going... This is our year. Mm-hmm. We're number 1 in the league. We've been number 1 all year. We don't have a choice but to go in. I'm not sure what their contract situation is with all their players, but this year and in the very near future, there are times to go in. And with teams like Tampa Bay that you will most likely have to play in a very early round in the playoffs, you will have to get stacked up. And then by the time you get through the first 2-3 rounds, the last round's going to be a breeze because it's the West. So, Florida, I think, has it this year. Yeah. All right, so we're going to end it here with one last segment. We're going to finish it off with a off-the-top-of-your-head question. Blake, my question for you is, who is the most surprisingly bad team this year?
I looked at the standings, and I think that the like, we didn't really expect this team to be where they are at all, especially after being in the Cup final last year, doing what they're doing right now. Montreal Canadiens, what are they, 28th? They're like 5-13-1 or something. Yeah. I very well could be wrong, but I think that's about their record, and that's abysmal. How did you make the final last year?
That's a fluke. That's a fluke for sure.
Complete fluke. No one expected this. I have another one. What was it? Here, let me check real quick.
Like, this team is nothing without Carey Price.
Yeah, I have one more, and it was, where are they? Colorado.
Where are they? 22nd.
22nd in the league. 8 wins, 5 losses. That's not bad.
They'd probably get a top 10 pick right now. Because they're 10th last in the league, right?
That's not too bad, but they're playing not the way anyone expected them to.
Yeah.
Because instead of Edmonton being where they are, if Colorado was playing a lot better, that obviously we'd be like, yeah, Colorado's winning the...
Yeah, I don't understand Colorado. Like, Nazem Kadri is, like, doing good. Like, I don't understand how Nathan MacKinnon's not doing good. Like, he has the skill. I don't know what it is with that guy. In the playoffs, he's unreal. But in the regular season, he just can't, like, he's never had a 100-point season. Like, how can we consider Nathan MacKinnon the second best player in the NHL when he doesn't perform in the regular season as he should? I'm not saying that he doesn't perform. He performs, but not as he should. He has the speed. He has the hands. He has the tenacity, the want to win. But why does it change so much from playoffs to regular season? Why does it change?
And not to mention that, like, just like Toronto, Colorado's stacked offensively, stacked defensively.
Oh yeah,
goaltending they're also
is fine. Goaltending's fine.
Yeah,
like you got Kemper, man. Like that, there's no problem with that.
Who's their backup?
Francouz. Yeah, he's not good, but like I'm not worried about their goaltending. It's just
they have
like
one of the best D-men in the world on
Cale Makar. Their Norris Trophy winner.
Bowen Byram. They got
Bowen Byram, Devin Tays. Like Eric Johnson.
Gerard?
Eric Johnson, Gerard. Eric Johnson, former first overall pick of the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah. Johnny
Tays going 3rd overall in that draft, by the way. That's fucking embarrassing.
Now to the forwards. Nathan MacKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen, Nazem Kadri.
Yeah. JT Compher. Tyson Jost.
Yeah,
like Burakovsky. Yeah, Burakovsky's sick.
This team has no excuse to not be first in the West this year.
Yeah. All 6 of their defensemen I would love to have. Like, their forwards are insane. Also, you want to talk about how Nathan MacKinnon cut his contract, like, took $6.3 million.
So they could build a team around him.
And then when Makar and Landeskog need contracts, they're like, yeah, you're going to fucking pay us, like, $10 million. And McKinnon's sitting here, and he's like, are you kidding me?
Am I a joke to you?
Yeah, am I a joke to you? I could have gotten $13 million probably. He could be like just under what McDavid's getting paid. If he asked for it and demanded it, Colorado would have no choice.
Since the whole world thinks he's the second best player.
Exactly. So he'd have no choice. But he's like so he's so willing to put everything out there and sacrifice everything to get a cup, but nobody else is. I don't blame them for wanting money. I understand, but just imagine being MacKinnon in that situation. All right, your question, Blake.
My question to you is: can you name one player and give your opinion on them that isn't doing very well on any team that is a candidate for a sudden breakout? Like that a player that's
not doing good right now.
That's not doing well, but that can do well. That should be doing well and may start doing well and change their team's outcome of the year. Or
you know what? Like, what comes to my head first is probably like, well, you know, we haven't seen Crosby a lot this year. He's been injured. He's got COVID, whatever. But even when he played, it took him 3 games to score a goal. I don't know. I think when that guy comes back, he's fully healthy, get him playing a little bit, I think he will kind of like the Penguins were doing really good without him, and they're not doing as good right now. That could be one. Jonathan Huberdeau, like I said, he's not like this guy almost had a 100-point season 2 years ago. So he could be really good like just out of the blue and just get like 100 points, right? Another one that comes to mind, kind of like, someone off of Montreal, like Toffoli or something, like, because they're not really like Jeff Petrie. Like could easily score like 20-30 goals as a defenseman, but he's done nothing all year, man. Like he could just pop off out of nowhere. Like let's see who else is there.
Sean Monahan.
Like we were talking about Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what if McKinnon comes out of nowhere? Like, just that whole kind of team. I think that's kind of like my picks. I know it's not just one guy, but, there's quite a few in the league. Like we have Mark Scheifele and Blake Wheeler on the third line in Winnipeg right now. I don't know if they're still there, but when I was, like, checking their lines and everything, they were sitting on the third line, and because Dubois was doing so good, Kyle Connor was tied for second in the league in goals. Like, what if Mark Scheifele and Blake Wheeler, like, pop off again? But I think the theme with these players that I'm picking are all players that were good, and we know them as stars of a team, but now they're getting overtaken by new stars. Like Huberdeau's getting taken over by Barkov, Verhaeghe, Duclair, Bennett, Reinhart. Scheifele and Wheeler getting taken over by Connor and Dubois. Crosby, like Heinen and Carter have kind of stepped into that role. Zucker, not Zucker. Or no, is that right? Zucker on the Penguins? Who am I thinking of?
Gensel?
Oh yeah, Gensel's been doing good, yeah. Like Toffoli, like, is just, like, we've known him as good, like, this whole time, but I just don't know what it is. Like,
There's also a Taylor Hall on Boston.
Yeah, he's been quiet, but that's pretty normal for Taylor Hall. I could see him being quiet. I could see him being loud. Like, what do you do, right?
Extremely inconsistent.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, thanks for listening to On Fire this week. We will see you every Sunday starting next week. And, we'll see you then.
You ready?
Yeah.